globalization is not linear. It is a knotted ball of string. It is hairy in parts. It's all complicated and non-linear. We need to step back. We need to think more creatively, in a more subtle way, in a more nuanced way. We need to think about schemes that work.
So we have seen global growth is expected to slow this year. So if we look at the global numbers, according to the World Bank, it'll decrease from 3% to 2.5%. If we see a continued decline, according to the World Bank, there's a risk that an additional 30 million people could be pushed into poverty, right? And global income could decline by 1.4 trillion. We're going to constantly see a world of disruption.
I believe globalization is a platform. It goes both ways. And it's everything and its opposite. It can be wonderful for individuals and terrible for individuals. It's all about the values that we bring to this platform. And that's a question of politics and society. Today, I believe globalization is driven primarily by individuals because of the technology is now allowing individuals to compete, connect, and collaborate globally as individuals. Digital globalization is the new thing that came along, and it is rapidly accelerating. The world has gone from flat to fast to smart to deep. If you look at how China grew from poverty to middle income the last 30 years, I would argue is a three-silo strategy. One silo, I think the most important was actually hard work, delayed gratification, kind of national pulling together around a great mission of smart investments in infrastructure and smart investments in education. The second silo was stealing other people's intellectual property, forced technology transfer, non-reciprocal trade arrangements, and non-compliance with certain WTO rulings. The third silo, which tends to be completely overlooked, was the U.S. Pacific Fleet, because the presence of our fleet in Asia allowed China to economically dominate all its neighbors without them fearing they would be geopolitically dominated. And that created a huge opportunity for China to expand its kind of globalization initiative regionally.
The provision of global public goods is an important problem. It is an important challenge, but we need to again dissociate that from the globalization phenomenon itself. And part of the problem is that the world has operated so well over the last 7 decades with a unipolar structure centered on America as the leader of the world. It solved all these problems and it pushed globalization. And a lot of the provision of global public goods are not large military footprint ones. What's needed are clever ideas, a judicious application of technologies, all of which small states and middle powers can play a hugely important role. So I would say, huge problem, let's get the top minds to work on this, and if we have to ditch the current global order, let's do that.